Well, here's the follow-up video for the wood splitter. So far about 4 loads of firewood have been through this thing, so quite a bit. It's held up pretty good, but there's a few things that I'm going to change on it. First of all, the wood slips off the pusher here, so what I'm going to do is put some padded welds like that, and then probably a few down like that to kind of give it some grip, something like a waffle pattern, I guess. The second issue I'm having with it is, you see right here, I kind of ran out of this tubing and didn't have enough to keep going the extra 6 inches. Well, this isn't enough right here because, I don't know if you could see that or not, but when you really start loading this down, it pushes this wedge back. And it's probably not going to do that too many more times before something breaks or whatever. So I'm going to make some actual big gussets to go in here. I know in the last video I was talking about making like slides or a tray or whatever for this. I did actually make something out of wood that came out and went up on both sides, but about 2 truckloads of wood and that thing was completely destroyed and just ripped right off. So I went down to the metal shop and had some 3/16 steel cut and bent to take place of that. So what I'm going to do here is cut something like that, cut a notch out of it to slide under this subframe, like right there, leave enough room for them bolts, go like that, and then probably it's going to stick out about a foot, so that'll give me room to do like an elevator or whatever, you know, for the skid steer bucket to kind of give it so it'll push out more. This stupid thing weighs a ton right here, so it's actually good because this wood splitter has so much tongue weight that's why I leave the ram all the way back when I move it. Because if this ram is all the way forward, that thing has a lot of tongue weight, a lot more than you would think. So that's actually going to be even better. And just moving the ram back, it makes a big difference. So with that and then that piece hanging off a little bit, it should make it actually easier to move. It'll be heavier, but it won't be so much weight to pick up on the front. But yeah, you can kind of see right there how that wedge is bending back a little bit, so I need to fix that before it gets too far gone. Other than that, it's been working really good. It's pretty productive, but I just need to change them couple things about it. I'm going to take these right off and then put this tray in place of those. Get rid of them things. They're pretty worthless anyway. And then it should be all set with it. So I guess the next thing to do is get started. So I have everything prepped and all ready to get welded on. Of course, I looked everywhere and I can't find a couple big 1/2-inch pieces of gusset for this, so I'm just going to use this angle iron. I already cut it. It fits right in there like that. So I mean, that'll be, it wasn't moving that much, and this should be more than enough. I really wanted to get a couple nice triangle pieces of 1/2-inch steel, but I can't find anything like that right offhand. So this will work. I got 2 of these pieces of angle iron right here that I'm going to just tack down at the bottom like this, because when I slide that tray into this, it'll ride on these. It'll just make life so much easier. Here's what the tray looks like right here now that I got it cut out. So that cutout right there will fit right around that, and it should slide right in there. The measurement on that, I believe, is 26 inches. So once I get that welded on, then I could just put my padded weld on the pusher and should be ready to go. Well, that went pretty good. It's really shaping up now. Got that welded on. Under here you can see I got the angle iron. I just tacked it in like 3 spots, 1-inch spots. That way if I have to take it off for some reason, get it off. I ended up cutting the excess of these bolts that were sticking through these nuts off so I can get this gap a little smaller. The smaller the gap is, I think the easier it's going to be. It's already a little bit big of a gap than I like, but I could have done some things different, like put this up higher and did something different back there, but you know what, for what this is, it was just simple. It was one big piece folded twice on the brake and just weld it on and be done with it. So I have to replace this bolt that broke, and got the brace welded on right there, so that back of that wedge shouldn't go anywhere now. So the final step is to put my padded weld on this. So when the pieces are up, they'd like to jump off of it. So that way that'll prevent that, because there was a couple times a couple pieces jumped off of that, and if that would have hit me in the leg or something, that'd really hurt somebody. So for padded welds, I like to use 6013. My choice of welding rod for this kind of stuff, or basically anything I do, is 7018. I mean, 7018 is like the best. Well, for every welding rod has its own purpose, but for most of the stuff I do, I use 7018 for stuff like that. And I mean, some people like to use like 6010 or 6013 for everything, but every rod has its purpose, like I said. But 6013 is a really good padded weld rod, just because it's easy to work with, and it's usually cheaper than 7018, and it's kind of 6013 is made for like one pass, where 7018 is made for like a weave weld also. You could do this with 7018. It just I don't see the point in wasting expensive rod for something stupid like this. So 6013 is the way to go. So the next step is we'll get the padded weld put on that, and we'll get it put back together and try it out. So it turns out that I'm not the best welder writer in the world. That's the first time I actually ever tried writing something with a welder. So there you have it. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe to my channel and help me out. It goes a long ways. But anyway, so I got the padded welds on there. One thing I learned about padded welds like this is the uglier the better, because it'll grip the wood a lot better. So of course that's upside down. But well, she's finished and it's ready for a test. I think right now it's safe to say it's this project is done. It looks like it's going to work pretty good. I don't really see any more modifications that I'll have to do with it right away. But if there is, I'll keep you guys updated. But it looks like it's pretty solid, stable ground right here to go on. I don't think I'm going to be breaking this thing anymore, not after building this out of steel. Yeah, I guess this project's done, and hope you enjoyed watching, and thanks for watching.